Well, I didn't want to believe it, but it sounds like the legacy board is serious about punishing the clubs and ringleaders of the protests. Now, let me tell you what I'm talking about. I got word from Pat Brown. He's had a lot of interaction with Sherwin when Sherwin was talking about coming back onto the board. And what was laid out for Pat is like, hey, we need to do something about these clubs that are protesting and these like section coordinators that are encouraging the protests. And they want to find some way to punish these clubs and these like ringleaders. Now, that's what Pat heard from Sherwin, and what I heard from Leighton is that they wanted he called it a revolt. They wanted to crush the revolt, is what he told me. Now Leighton didn't tell me how they planned to do that, but um, I would guess it was something along the lines of what Sherwin was telling Pat about. Now, in the last couple of days, we've gotten a lot more insight into what the legacy board is planning to do. Now, they already had a meeting and formed something called a discipline committee. Now, what a discipline committee is for USPSA, that's anyone's guess. Um, but Leighton nominated somebody that he's acquainted with, Chuck Anderson. He's a former Area 1 director from many years ago. And what Chuck wants to do is, I mean, he laid it out on the internet over the last couple days. He says, "This is a direct quote: running a hit factor match using USPSA scoring rules, steal infrastructure, and everything but the name." He says that's stealing. That's what he says. So his view is that if you're, running a hit factor match in place of a USPSA match, that's stealing from USPSA. And Leighton nominated him for the discipline committee so he can discipline people that are doing this. Now, obviously, fundamentally, these guys are confused about who is stealing from who. That's for sure. And another interesting post from Chuck. Let me go ahead and read this. As far as the board of directors being a cabal of evil bastards only out to get money from the organization, it is the stupidest possible thing people could think. At worst, it's incompetence from the people the members elected to hold those positions. The truth is probably that things aren't as bad as the guys who said they were going to try and destroy the org are making it out to seem. And people who believe them should really go shoot IDPA. They seem to like being told what to do or think. Um, that's that's his point of view. I mean, obviously we have pretty different worldviews here. I mean, I like that he just seems completely out of touch and crazy. Like the idea that punishing more people is going to fix anything for USPSA. It's completely crazy. Like obviously. And the interesting thing is Leighton is like now, like today, like or yesterday, is signaling he agrees with this stuff. Like Leighton hasn't changed his mind. Like they want to go after clubs and individuals and discipline more people. Now, interestingly, some other people have come out of the woodwork. Bruce Gray took some time off of defending the SIG 320s to talk about this issue. And I want to read his post. It's kind of interesting. As this thread demonstrates, I'm unimpressed by some of the personalities who've been tearing down my sport and calling for the board of directors' heads. USPSA culture has been afflicted by too many mouthy jerks and losers who certainly don't have anyone's best interest at heart, as they troll and defame their betters with seeming impunity. None seem to be possessed of the character and temperament to fix the organization, much less be civil and respectful in a conversation regarding the issues to be solved. Um, yeah, let me interject here. A lot of us tried being civil and respectful, and we were just lied to and put and shoved off to the side. Like we tried being civil, we tried being respectful. A few years, like for some of us, it was a few years of that, and it got nowhere. It got nowhere. Anyway, he goes on. If I were an AD, at what point would this malignant abuse become intolerable? When would I get to block these jerks? Their whole game here is to torment those they dislike, disagree with, or envy until their target breaks and reacts in otherwise inappropriate manner, and then claim they are victims. In that environment, what does the membership expect from anyone who volunteers for this shit? Well, look, I'm speaking for myself here. Like a lot of people would look at what I'm doing to Leighton right now and they say, "Oh, you're victimizing him." I've memed a nickname for him into existence that's very hurtful and not very, that's not nice what I'm doing. But don't get it twisted. Like Leighton tried to destroy me. He tried to destroy me. He told me that to my face. He's like, "Oh, I thought we were going to really hurt your business when we kicked you out." Like he made it clear, like he tried to damage me in any way possible. So why would I feel bad like talking mean about him on the internet? Like at this point, and why would your expectation be any different? Like why would you expect me or other people that he's pissed off to act any differently, Mr. Bruce? And yeah. Anyway, these guys are spiraling in my view. It's kind of crazy to watch that the legacy board has decided they're going to punish clubs. That's what they're going to do, and punish the ringleaders of the protest. And they've dragged these out of touch idiots out of retirement to shill for them. It's really something to watch.